Hello there, this is John Harder, aka Wealth Wiz, and I'm doing broadcast number, let me just see here, 197 today. So thank you this morning for tuning in. I appreciate it. And now let me begin by again reminding you that it's your thinking that either creates your success or your failure. Now, when you think about failure, that produces failure. When you think about success, that produces success. Okay, so that really is, it really is matters on where you focus your mind on. Okay, so and another thing that is extremely important, and that is actually what I want to touch on in this video, is about making up your mind, making a decision. A decision is extremely important. Without a decision, you really don't get anywhere either. You can do all kinds of thinking and you can try to keep your mind positive, but unless you have a decision that is backed by a purpose, you really haven't got any foundation at all to build on. So there must be a purpose that why you're making the decision, and the decision must be made in order so that you have the power of the universe behind you to back you up on your decision. Okay, so if we look at the TBC opportunity, or should we say the mission that it is with its currency, we see a person who had a vision and who made a decision. So he had a purpose. And as we could again recite that purpose being that of eradicating poverty from the earth. That's a pretty huge purpose. And he then made a decision. He made a decision to create the coin, the system, the billion coin. Okay, and he has faced so incredibly much, should we say, opposition from within and from without. And we see him not backing down. We see him holding true to his purpose. And I believe that the decision he has made is being backed by the power of the universe. Or should we say the power of God? Okay, so you can fill that whatever suits you, because God doesn't have a name. It doesn't have a name. In scientific language, it's called energy. This energy is alive. This energy can never ever be challenged because it's the source of life. Okay. and you have that power backing you up when you make a decision that is backed by a purpose. Okay, so now I want to share the screen and again return to the article that I had been sharing for the last couple of days. Okay, so we're going to go back to that article here. Okay, yesterday we looked at the jurisdiction part here at these points, and so today we're looking at the next one. So the article, the third, politics and protocols. Okay, well, let's have a look. All members of the PCA shall adhere to the politics and the protocols of the PCA in order to maintain active good standing in the society and PCA, and with respect to the use and beneficial interests of the subtrust account established for each member as described herein below. All right. So let's go to the next point. So this includes continued adherence and honoring of the membership agreement. Each member has entered into previous to the public each member has entered into previous to the publication of these articles, which said agreement is now inclusive of these articles of association by default. Okay, any member objecting to the inclusion of these articles can do so by writing to the administration email to cancel their membership agreement and terminate ongoing participation in the society and PCA. New members new members henceforth shall enter the membership agreement that will include these articles and membership in the PCA. All members of the Billion Coin community agree that the TBC and Kringle coin will never go down in value. They can only go up in value. The entire structure of the society, PCA, and medium of exchange system relies on a software program that drives the price of TBC up by 1 to 5% daily until it reaches its ultimate valuation. All members, by their acceptance of the trust and subtrust agreement and the general terms of use and membership agreement, agree to follow the requirements that the coin and currency of the society shall never be ascribed as value other than the daily value of that, as stated in the official website of the society. All right, so all members agree that all rules politics and protocols can be updated, modified, or changed from time to time at the sole discretion of the overseer or his delegated council's administrative team, authorized agreement, or representatives. Okay, all members agree that they are personally and individually responsible for adhering to for adherence to any local jurisdiction, laws, code, and statutes that may apply, including but not limited to adherence to domestic taxation policies for the jurisdiction in which they live or to which they are legally bound. It is an explicit policy of the society NPCA that we do not encourage any sort of evasion of responsibility that may adhere to any member in their local or domestic legal jurisdiction, and it is solely the responsibility of the member to determine what such responsibilities are that they must fulfill. The Kringle Society and private contract association welcome members from all all ethnicities, okay, creeds, racial identities, or other unequally distinguishing characteristics of people worldwide. We do not exclude membership on any basis of prejudice against any people based on such. All right, so I guess it still continues here. All right, personal identities. The only exception to this rule is that the society and the PCA do not support in any way the use of the society, PCA, or medium of exchange for any illegal purposes, whatsoever, and will not accept for membership or tolerate any existing members who promotes or engages in any form of violence, terrorism, or other similar acts. Any transgressions to this rule is grounds for immediate expulsion. Okay, so that is fairly, or should I say very, very straightforward, telling us, that we're not at enmity with the legal system or with any local laws. We are at peace with all men everywhere completely, and do not engage or will not even tolerate engaging in violence or, you know, terroristic acts or anything like that. Okay, so Article the 4th, disputes and settlements. Looks like a fairly short article. All disputes between members or between the or between the members and the administrative team of the Society and PCA shall be heard, adjudicated, and settled according to the private protocols made available to all members of the PCA. The maximum of equity shall be part of the law. The maximum of equity shall be part of the law of the case in all matters. All right, well, that's quite simple and straightforward. All right, so Article the 5th is what we will look at tomorrow. Okay, so again, let me actually go to the Kringle.cash system here, and you know, there's one thing that I want to lift out, and that is if okay, the other cryptocurrencies, they are all in exchanges, whereas our private coin is not. And I want to clarify what the purpose of that is, because there are people who can't seem to understand why TBC is not in the exchanges. But here's the thing. If you go to the Neighbors and you play in their sandbox, they might leave you alone for a little while. But and you know, and you might be able to pretty much do what you want, but you know what, eventually your kids are going to come in and they're going to say, you know what, this is our sandbox, and if you're going to play here, you're going to have to play by our rules. Okay, and that is basically where all of the other cryptocurrencies are at. They are in the Neighbors Sandbox. That's just simply put, it means that they are operating under the legal system of the public. Okay, so you cannot have a private operation in the public exchanges and in the public sandbox. That it doesn't work that way, because they're going to eventually say, look, you know what, we've got rules, we got laws, you have to adhere to this, you have to adhere to, and we already see that coming in, you know, in those exchanges a lot. And matter of fact, they've been manipulating and controlling the exchanges quite a bit already, which of course is now they have been making some decentralized exchanges, which is again another challenge for the legal system to grab a hold of. But But I kid you not, they're already also have their pinkies into that, okay? So if you're playing in the sandbox of the public, you're going to fall subject to their rules one way or another. It's just how it is. And so it doesn't mean that we eventually humanity might, you know, can become free. We can. If we do it right, we can. Okay? But we can't, you won't do it by fighting. Okay? That's not possible. You won't do it by fighting. Trust me, when you're in the Neighbors Sandbox, their kids are ultimately going to have the say as to what goes on. That's just simply accept that, okay? And this is where TBC comes in. We don't play in the Neighbors Sandbox. We have our own sandbox. So we have the liberty in our sandbox to play by our rules. And so that is why TBC is not in the exchanges, because we're staying out of the Neighbors Sandbox. So we're playing in our own sandbox by our own rules, and that's why we have the liberty that we have, and that is why we're not in the exchanges with the you know, with all of the other coins. So if you have been confused about why we're not in the exchanges, and well, that's why. And maybe you had the idea that we couldn't get into an exchange or whatever, and that they wouldn't accept that. That has nothing to do with any of this. Listen, understand, just simply understand and accept it, why we're not in the exchanges, and you'll make things a whole lot easier for yourself to understand if you just simply change your mindset about that. We don't need exchanges. We don't want exchanges. We don't need exchanges. And we do things our way. We do things our way. Okay, so that is why we're going to be, you know, why we're going to eradicate poverty from the earth. You can point out to me absolutely any coin that's in the exchanges and show me how they're going to accomplish what we're accomplishing. And you know, I'm convinced that there isn't a way that you're going to be able to show that to me, because in the exchanges, it doesn't exist, because they apply the rules, not you. You might be setting out to do that, but if you're under the jurisdiction of where, you know, of the legal systems, it's not going to happen. All right. So we can operate privately and adhere to all of those things, but you can't be in a public exchange and do that. That's not possible. All right. Okay. So having said that, I want to just show you a little bit. Okay, I've been clicking this here. That's not actually. I want to, since I'm here, I have, I'm just on the, actually on the home page of having logged in to the Kringles.cash system. And here I just want to show you the 2448 system. And guys, if you have not paid your wallet yet from who knows how long back, it really doesn't matter much. You are in a perfect position right now to benefit from this. Now, of course, if you can't make up your mind about that or anything, if you don't have that capability within you, then you may as well just forget it and let it slip by, because you know, you lack the capability of acting, okay, of taking action. But here is your here are the two roads that are you know, the millionaire or billionaire. You know, when you think about the possibilities that are here, and they are absolutely possible, but again, if you are you know, too brainwashed by the system, by the, you know, the whatever it is, school systems or your job or whatever it is that is keeping you from being able to function enough to make a decision, to think clearly enough to see what's going on here, then obviously it isn't going to make any difference for you. You need to be able to see, you need to be able to trust, you need to be able to make a decision and trust that the Almighty has your back when you make a solid decision that you're going to move forward and you're going to be successful. Okay? Because that is how it works. There's a phrase that says, as thou hast believed, so is it done unto thee. As you have believed, so is it done. And that still holds true today in every decision you make, everything that you believe, where you believe you're going to fail, where you believe you're not, where you believe you're not going to make anything of yourself, that's exactly how it's going to be. And if you change that belief and you start believing that you're going to be very wealthy, and you're starting right now, you're starting today to start achieving wealth in your and you're making a solid decision that that nothing is going to move you from this. You are, you know, you are anchored in with that decision. Then you have an almighty power that will back you up on that, and you will achieve success far beyond your wildest dreams. Thank you so much for watching, and I'm going to actually stop the screen share now. Okay. Okay, so I want to thank you for thank you for watching this video, and for hanging out with me. I appreciate it. And now I want to, of course, I'm trying to get a clip. My mouse doesn't want to function here. Okay. All right. Okay. So thank you so much, and you have a wonderful, wonderful day.